Today on Drawbli,
we are looking at the art of Chris Riddell.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we're drawing together because art is better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And let's talk about one of Abby's favorite artists, Chris Riddell.
Yes, Chris Riddell illustrated a series of young adult books when I was a young adult. Or
actually, when
younger.
you were much younger. Yeah.
Called The Edge Chronicles.
Just young, in fact.
A very fantastical world with fantastical creatures and wild, wild scenery that just totally made me fall in love with his art style as well as his attention to very detailed line work.
So, is it the detailed line work that drew you to him, or was it the content?
Both. I was captured by both the storytelling, which was just a wild world, and the art that illustrated that story and really, really brought it to life. These works that you're showing actually almost look a little more basic than the stuff that I'm really drawn to.
Some of this early stuff is like some newer sketches and things, but we'll get into the classics here.
The classics here, yeah, they're just so intricate, and they look like they took just ages and ages and ages to
Such
create.
as this.
Yeah, like all by hand.
Insane detail everywhere. I really like the contrast up here on the face.
Oh yeah, where the flooring is kind of filled in behind her, which really, really emphasizes her face.
Yeah, makes it pop.
Meanwhile, though, her hair is still super like defined and against that kind of scratched in background, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, I love the texture on the hair, the dress, all the stuff on the pillars behind her is pretty crazy.
The fact that he does this by hand, too, is just insane.
Yeah, this is all traditional. You can see the pen off there to the side. That's crazy.
Here is a really good example of what I'm talking about with the hair of this creature, where there's just so much happening and going on, but it's still like very cohesive. I love that we see his sketch marks down at the base of her dress where he hasn't finished filling it in the background yet.
So he starts with a pencil first before inking.
Yeah, which is so fun to get to see because I've only ever looked at his fully finished work. So it's really fun. It's always so fun to see a process.
Yeah.
This is really what I'm talking about.
I mean, this is a lot.
Oh, yeah. And like all of the Edge Chronicles has so much cool stuff going on. It's
a fantasy series.
Yes.
Then. Okay.
Yes. With so many like crazy creatures that I just have not seen in anything since then. There's a species of bird warriors called shrikes. And shrikes are real birds in the real world that are known to be very violent birds. So it's this really, really violent bird warrior species in the book that just look so fantastical and very cool.
Like this?
No, they actually don't look like that.
Ah, darn.
No, but that's another good example. He's very varied, He's not just like one bird fits all kind of guy.
I draw one bird and I'm done.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
If you want a bird from me, you get one bird, not this guy. He's like, let me show you a bunch of different birds.
Let me show you dragon birds, scale birds, feather birds. We got all the birds you need.
His wizened faces are super cool too. Whenever he draws like an old person, it's just like the oldest person.
But you just like drawings of old people.
I do. I think they're fascinating.
No, they are a lot of fun. I really like his nature stuff.
His nature stuff is awesome. A lot of his woodland or like deep forest drawing.
Deep forest.
Oh, it's a deep forest, a dark woods.
You can tell.
Yes. The roots that he drew inspired me throughout my life to draw roots in his way, which is a big tangled knots of them twining all over each other with little eyes peeking out from the gaps.
Ooh.
And little hands reaching across the gaps as well. Oh, this is a nice one too.
Is this from the Edge Chronicles?
I don't recognize it.
It looks older, so I believe this is one of the classics pulled from the archive.
Could be.
The deep archive.
Who knows?
Just like the deep forest.
The deep forest.
Yes. I know that the Artful Dodger is one of his older series, right?
No, the Artful Dodger is from Charles Dickens's art line. Yeah.
So even older.
Yeah. Well, I don't think
I've read like 2 or 3 books in my day.
The Charles Dickens is horrifically depressing. I don't blame you. And he was paid by the word, so that also makes him very prolific and difficult to read. But he's very sad.
That's crazy.
Yes.
By the word. Oh my gosh, he must have taken a huge advantage of that.
Yes, he did. Or he did not allow himself to be taken advantage of.
Do you think that Chris Riddell is paid by the line, maybe, and that's why there's so many lines?
Paid by every pen stroke.
That would be insane.
Yeah. This is cool. Very, very.
This is like, yeah, classic again.
Yeah, it just reminds me of a lot of his work. Although this is like straight up pirate, and the Edge Chronicles had sky pirates.
Very different.
Who looked so different, and honestly, way cooler.
I don't know. Kind of looks like a sky pirate. I see clouds in the background.
You see clouds, but you just don't see any of the gear that they carry. They always carry like little like hooks and stuff because if you're falling out of the sky,
You gotta have a hook.
you gotta have something.
You gotta have a hook.
See the bulbs on the trunk of the tree a little bit to the left? That also was a big inspiration to me, like drawing these bulbous forms coming off of your tree. And you'll see those in nature too, which is cool.
I have been in nature a couple times and I have seen the bulbs.
This is really awesome. I don't know what story he's illustrating here, but it is dramatic.
This is definitely like a classic fairy tale, but I can't think of which one. Where she's got like the sewing.
Yeah, stuff. I'm like Rumpelstiltskin-esque, but like none of the
same like era.
Sleeping
I feel like
Beauty. She like pricks her fingers on a spindle, but none of them I can think of where they just straight up stab her.
This feels in that vein.
And then this is from the Edge Chronicles. This is two of the main characters from those series, which are split up into a couple different timelines, and just totally lodged in my heart and soul as like some of my favorite work of all time. So, yeah, that was Chris Riddell. Thanks for setting this up. It was so fun to look at his work.
And if you want to be lodged in our hearts for all time, click that like and subscribe button.
And check out our guidebook, How to Easily Draw Every Day, at the link below in the description.
And this is the part where we say...
Goodbye.
Goomba.
Ben, if I got the Edge Chronicle books, would you read them?
What's the reading level of those?
You can just look at the pictures.
Yeah, because it might be a little too hard for me.
Yeah.